fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Hey, what's up, family? What's going on? Yeah, guys, I wanted to play this video for you guys. Some of you may have already seen it, some may not, but it kind of ties into some of the stuff we were talking about. Remember, I keep on telling y'all there's two. Keep telling y'all there's two Trumps, okay? I've showed you video of which one is which. Now, one is being dragged through the mud right now. I believe that they use one to go along with their plans so that they can give the impression that they're in control of certain things, which I don't believe to actually be the case. But then again, they may actually be doing it a certain way so that things can be exposed. Okay. And like I said, regardless of if both sides of the aisle have been involved with, you know, the corruption and disruption of our foundation, it's likely that if there was a good guy of some sort or a team of good guys, they would have to infiltrate one of the sides in order to bring some type of, you know, or in order to rectify the situation from inside. You can't just come and overthrow the whole system from outside because you'd be looked at like an enemy of some sort. You understand what I mean? I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'm gonna play this video and then I'm gonna break down some of the things that we've talked about in the past that kind of ties all this together. And it does give some type of relevance to this whole situation. So without further ado, let me go on and play that for you.
Halper Hayes, who's a US political analyst, and he's here in the studio. Good to see you, as always.
Good to see you.
There's so many people putting this down as a political conspiracy theory, but actually there are real questions to be answered here.
There are?
Yeah, of course there are. Of course there are.
What he's being accused of, but what part do you think is to answer that the 2020 election is going to be litigated because of this? They've made a huge, huge mistake with this one, because even though we thought what was going to happen was they were going to go after him for treason or sedition, but they did criminally charge him, but they didn't go to that extreme. As a result, he has due process, so he can subpoena people and bring things in. Now, let me say something about this 2020 election, is that Biden is the legitimate president, but he's the legitimate president of what is now the bankrupt U.S. corporation. And that was a treaty in 1871. Well, on September 12th, 2018, Trump created an executive order. Within that, he outlined in future elections any kind of foreign or domestic interference, specifically for the 2020 election. So we say, how did he know some of these things were going to happen? Election integrity on both sides of the aisle is tough. It's really tough. But what this has done is it's opened the door for Trump to present his case.
Well, that's a good...
Okay, so I said I was going to wait to the end of the video to hit on some of this stuff, but I think it's relevant if I hit on some of it now. Because there's a lot to unpack with this video, and I feel like if we go too far, we'll miss some things. So the treaty, I think it was 1867. The treaty, okay. There was the treaty that pretty much sold us into slavery. Okay, I spoke about this in my video, the founding of the republic. Okay, and I'm gonna put that up on the screen for those that have not seen this, you need to go watch, like cut everything you're doing. Go watch that video. Go watch that video. It's one of my older videos, but it breaks down everything. Okay, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can go and watch it, and you will better understand what's going on. This ties in a lot of you, some of you may know, but there's a lot of people that don't. But it ties into the birth certificate or sovereignty, ties into the stock market, ties into the value. Okay, ties into the Social Security number. It ties into all of that. Okay, that's a huge piece that if you don't know about that part, it's going to be hard for you to understand some of the rest of this video and why some of the things have taken place. Okay, I really want to put some other pieces in here that I think that would be important, but I might hold off because that could make this video get removed. Okay, guys. And another thing that they hit on was, well, how did Trump know this? How did Trump know that? I told y'all.
Extreme. As a result, he has due process, so he can subpoena people and bring things in. Now, let me say something about this 2020 election, is that Biden is the legitimate president, but he's the legitimate president of what is now the bankrupt U.S. corporation. And that was a treaty in 1871. Well, on September 12th, 2018, Trump created an executive order. Within that, he outlined in future elections any kind of foreign or domestic interference, specifically for the 2020 election. So we say, how did he know some of these things were going to happen? Election integrity on both sides of the aisle is tough. It's really tough. But what this has done is it's opened the door for Trump to present his case.
Well, that's a good thing.
Okay, so like I was saying, guys, couple things that we have to look at with this. This is what I was telling y'all. This goes back to a lot of the videos that I made in the past. And I might try to put each one of them up so that y'all can see. We had the founding fathers, not the founding fathers, but the founding of the republic, which that's a huge one. Like I said, y'all need to go see that one. The Trump, what is it? I can't think of which one it is. Let me check real quick. Let me check. Point out a couple of videos that you probably need to see. This one here, I believe, which I'm gonna play a little piece. Yeah, this one. This is one that you need to see. We're not gonna play it, but it's got a lot of key pieces as it pertains to this whole thing. Okay, so you're gonna need to see that video. This video may help out a lot. Operation Hoorah, I would say this one.
This trip to power
Military post there somewhere. Okay, so he was being like heavily guarded during this time. You notice he showed up at the thing with the bulletproof glass. So why would the president show up somewhere with bulletproof glass and not have some type of military presence or Secret Service guys in attendance as well to make sure that he got through to where he had to get through and get up out of there? Okay, he was never going up to the Capitol building. He was just setting the stage so people could go up there and go ahead and handle business and stuff. You need to see that video. Because I showed you the sting operation. Those are military outfits coming through to get the Pelosi laptop. See that? I'm not going to play this video. That big. Look at him. Same outfit. That video is deep. Same exact outfit. He got the blue mask with the hoodie and the dark maybe hat or something. Yeah, those are disguises, guys. But anyway, that's a video that y'all have to see. That's Operation Hoorah. Okay, and so this video, the founding of the republic, this is a big one that you definitely got to see.
When you get old,
yeah, this is
now it's just theatrics. Okay, but people talking about what you gonna do now. What you think?
It belongs to them.
Yeah, this is a video you definitely want to see.
Guys, we didn't use the codes and regulations.
So that one, founding of the republic, and
the person who's going to find and crack the whole thing. Be careful of. Said they're experts.
Well, So we're gonna have to. I'm gonna pull up the other videos as I find them, and I might link them to this video so y'all can see them. But I want to go in about a couple of the things that we were looking at. One of them being there's two Trumps. I've told you guys that plenty of times. Two Trumps. There's always been 2, 3 of the presidents, sometimes even more. There's also the time travel piece. Gotta go back to my time travel piece, man. That's the one I really want y'all to see, because that's like, well, people are like, oh, how did he know this? How did he know that? Well, he's got help. And I told y'all that. And the time traveling part came from the aliens. Okay, it came from the extraterrestrials. They established that. That's something that what's his name? Nikola Tesla, and George, was it George Trump? I can't remember. It might be George Trump, Trump's uncle, that was involved with. Like, they was working like hand in hand with the time traveling piece. You see what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all know it because you've been following me, so I put this stuff out there before. But for people that don't know, yeah, it's a time traveling piece with this, and there's also a there's some type of crystal ball in a sense that gives them access to certain information and certain strategies that they can implement based off of future and past events. This is where the Mandela effect comes from. Okay. I'm not going to try to explain all this right now because it is a lot to unpack. Like I said, I just wanted to touch on this video, but I wanted you guys to understand the founding of the republic. Okay. The two Trumps. Okay. Understand that part. And the time travel piece. Okay. Understanding the time travel piece and understanding what he's been doing and how there's some other key components to this whole thing. Okay. And why he did some of the stuff he did the way he did it. And like I told y'all before, yeah, there's a good Trump, but there's a bad one. All right. And the bad one they can use anyway. Like, they can railroad the bad one. He walking around like, yeah, they got me. Oh, I'm going to jail, this, that, and the other. He can say things, do things that they want him to say or do. Just like they had control over Mitch McConnell. So when y'all start to see the stuff I showed y'all, now y'all starting to see it because I'm putting other stuff in front of you. We're like, dang, what's going on with him? So now you got to develop what they got control over him. Who don't they got control over? You see, they got their pieces and they can use them how they want. Just like I told you with Dave Chappelle, most recently, Jamie Foxx and Hamlin and stuff. Like, you start seeing how they moving with these folks. You start seeing like this whole picture. You start seeing that this world is not what y'all think it is, man. I'll be trying to tell you. So that's a big part of it, man. That whole piece as far as the Trump stuff. I'm gonna play the rest of this video so y'all can get an understanding on the rest.
Isn't it? Because what we see on this side of the pond is a very difficult situation where the legal system is politicized in the United States, which is abhorrent to us over here. So the fact that Trump can subpoena, some people saying it's a mistake by Jack Smith, but actually he can subpoena. People can actually see evidence from both sides. That's a sensible move.
Exactly. And it's a great mistake by Jack Smith that he's done that. Absolutely great. See, the thing is, think about Edward Snowden and all the information he had. Think about the fact that our military, our Department of Defense Space Force, if you think that they don't have the actual real results from the election.
That's the other thing, guys. That's the reason he created the Space Force. That's the whole reason, because the Space Force is really just, it's another arm of the military, but it's the real arm. Like, I told you what happened with the other arm of the military. That level of military had been taken over. It's been infiltrated. So they had to create another arm of the military. These two are not working in unison. You understand what I mean? This is two different military. We got two military. Remember, I always say, man, why ain't somebody in the military uprising against all this stuff? Well, you can't. You got colonels and stuff that's involved with it.
Hello. I would like to share with you a report that I just got a lot of help in putting together from the Hall of Research, and about the next group of people that are about to be arrested. There are 1,819 reptilians, and there are 807 males and 12 females. And these people require technology, and they have to drink human blood to appear human. And I'd like to quickly go through the list. 17 members are from the Bush family. Dick Cheney is one of them. Vladimir Putin is one of them, and he has 36 other Russians with him over there. A lot of them are the KGB agents. There are 58 of these reptilians in the military, and they're mostly generals. The director of the CIA, the American branch of the CIA, the director John Brennan, Keith Alexander, the director of the NSA, the director of the TSA, and they're in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines.
So the only way to be able to fight that is to create another military. That's why I say you got two Trumps. Do you understand how it works? So I told you, you're going to have to, first you're going to have to infiltrate one of the sides. So you're going to have to use somebody that can do that. And like I said, it's going to have to be somebody that's got help. I'm not talking about this and help with this world. Y'all got to understand, we dealing with angels and demons. That's why I showed you just a piece I showed you. You got to watch this video. You got to watch that video. I showed you the demons. You see they running the media. Okay? They got control over that. You're not going to be able to beat and jump through all of these loops and stuff, man, as no regular worldly human being. You're not going to be able to do it. Just like I showed you how the video I was talking about before, when they was talking about 60 minutes, or it was what 60 minutes? It might have been, I can't think of the other one. New Edition or something like that, Inside Edition, right? Where they was talking about how everybody that was going through the White House and stuff, they was having these headaches. They was getting mind control. You see, they was able to do that. They can mind control anybody. They can mind control the president. Why do you think they had Bill Clinton? Remember I showed you Bill Clinton was sitting there at MK Ultra? Then I showed you the videos of the Bushes, and I showed you where their eyes was jacked up. You see what I'm saying? We've been infiltrated. I told you that. So in order to fight that level of power, you know, and it goes back to Phil Snyder where he was talking about the type of power that these beings had and everything. You see, you're not going to be able to fight them as a regular person. Do you understand what I mean? First, y'all, like I said, you have to establish that there is a bad side, an evil side, and that they are not of this world. Okay, if you haven't established that part yet, man, you completely lost. I can't help you. Okay, but once you establish that, okay, there's a real evil in this world, which there is, which is what I've been pointing out to you guys, is that there's a real evil in this world, okay, and they are pretty much in all the positions of power, okay. In order to defeat them, you got to fight power with power, like angels versus demons, like a real thing. Okay. So when everybody's like, well, Trump's bad, Trump, two sides, they all on the same. Yes, I agree with you, but we then took it a step further, a level beyond that. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. This is deeper than just the level that you seeing that you expected. You know, you expecting, okay, yeah, this, you know, Trump is bad. He's really, yeah, they have a bad Trump. They do. But in order to combat that, the good guys, which would deal with extraterrestrials, which there are good ones, and angels, you know, that's what they pretty much are, just like the demons are, the Dracos and stuff. The angels, they're going to get involved and they're going to move from their side, but they're going to have to do something the same way. They're going to have to infiltrate. Okay. They're going to have to, because at the end of the day, we're not going to see the war that's being fought. The war is being fought. That's why I tell you every day, we at war. We at war with who? Well, the beings that's trying to poison us. That's why I put the shop together specifically for that. They don't want you getting the information. They feeding you poison. They telling you lies, telling you can't get cured of this, can't get cured of that. Who's telling you that? The ones that run the world. Who run the world? The elite. Well, who the elite? Who the elite worship? Who they have running their show? The devil, the Dracos. You see what I mean? So they are going to mislead you. They're going to confuse you. They're going to influence you. That goes into the video that I got as well that I'm gonna put in here talking about Oprah. Okay. Talking about y'all seen that because that's where my videos, some of my videos during the pandemic kind of started around that situation where, you know, they start finding some stuff. You remember what I'm talking about? I don't know how much I can put in here, man, because I'm this is going on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to keep it, you know, somewhat brief, you know, and I can't talk directly on some of the stuff I want to say. But you see the stuff that's going on in Maui, right? I'll show y'all that.
The news out of Maui and the toll climbing to 111 overnight as we learn more about what may have sparked the first fire.
At some point, I will make a major donation after all of the smoke and ashes have settled here and we figure out what the rebuilding is going to look like. This is going to be a long and difficult process.
In just 2023, she invested in a vast 520-acre plot for $3.89 million, then went for another 330 acres at $2.47 million. But here's the twist. Amidst this real estate surge, a sudden fire happens, destroying homes nearby, but leaving her vast terrains unscathed. Does that ring a bell?
The tragic Maui wildfires have given rise to unusual conspiracy theories. The one which has caught the attention of the media is the claim of Oprah's involvement in a land grab. The catastrophic Maui wildfires, which ravaged Lahaina, Hawaii, have not solely caused widespread devastation, but have also ignited a surge of conspiracy theories spreading like wildfire across social media platforms. Amidst the destruction that consumed a 5-square-mile expanse and resulted in the tragic loss of at least 106 lives, certain online voices have delved into peculiar territories, proposing the unsettling idea that influential figures, including Oprah, who possesses valuable land on the island, might have caused the fire on purpose for their secret reasons.
We jumped to the ocean because we trapped.
They have 9 family members in all inside the shelter.
Rumors are going around that she might have done something tricky. It's being said that she used the victims of the recent Maui fire to make herself look better and make more money. Can you believe how bold that is? It's like a story from a Hollywood movie, and Oprah is the main character in this huge scandal. So what's happening here? Step into the world of Oprah Winfrey, where reality is juicier than any Hollywood blockbuster. A scandal is swirling around her that could give the most gripping movie plot a run for its money. Lahaina is ablaze and chaos reigns. Amid this turmoil, Oprah steps into the spotlight, but not without a touch of controversy.
You see what I'm saying? You see what's going on in Maui. You see how they kind of know what's about to happen. Just like when you take the walk, they're not taking the same dose. You see what I mean? They're not taking the same, they're not doing that. Okay, just like I told y'all, as far as dealing with the like I said, how can I put this? They're protected and they take the right stuff so that those certain fibers and particles and things that we're talking about cleansing out of your system, it doesn't affect them. They don't come down with the cancers and things like that. If anybody in the elites come down with cancer and stuff, it's because they being dealt with. They're not the people that, no, they're not dying like that. If they do something like that, it's usually some kind of psyop or something behind it. But needless to say, it has to be a good guy. He's going to have to infiltrate and he's going to have to go against the bad guys. So they're going to fight for leverage over the people. On top of the fact that if you don't have control of the media can paint the picture however they want, and you just got to do what you can to try to combat that on the backside. You see what I mean? So the information that we're going to get is not always going to line up with what's really going on. 99% of the time, it's not. 99% of the time. And so you have to take that and you got to put the whole picture together, which I know is a lot, man. This is like a sci-fi movie, but it is what it is. Okay. But you're going to have to be able to, when you start talking about this level of technology that they implement from the bad guys, you got to match that on the good side. And also you're going to have extraterrestrial, interdimensional beings from the good side as well that's going to have to go do battle with them. We can look, what the hell I'm gonna do fighting against a freaking Draco? These things, man, have superpower. You don't understand that, guys. You don't understand that. You're not gonna be able to fight them as a regular person. They got like the strength of 10, 20 men, something like that, something crazy. All right. Phil Snyder talked about these things, man. That's why I said they took over the military complex that they were setting up. And then they got in and they infiltrated the whole government. So now we have to get it back. You see what I mean? Like all of this stuff, man, it all ties in. But what I wanted to point out was that things have been set in motion that's been going on behind the scenes, and they're not going to give you that on the media. The media is not going to give you that. The media is basically with the bad guys. That's just what it ain't with the bad guys. And that's why when I give you stuff, this stuff is banned, censored, suppressed, considered misinformation, because this is real media. I'm giving you real information. Okay. So basically, guys, we've been fighting this battle for a long time, and we've got some pieces that are somewhat in place that they're trying to get back control and give the rights and give the people their lives back. Also to correct the stuff that's being done, because like I said, we're behind enemy lines. The enemy is running the country, and they're doing what, like Phil Snyder said, running the Depop program, the enslavement piece, all of that stuff is in play. And that's why I got the shop together, so that y'all can combat some of the things that they're trying to do with the technology that's being implemented. All right, and that's why one of the Trumps was saying to do the bad stuff, and then the other one was like, "Yo, we got other options. Don't do it." And then it really came down to who was able to be connected spiritually. So it came down to your pineal gland and being able to decipher information, process information, and see right through the BS. A lot of people couldn't do that. Been fluoridated too long. Pineal gland calcified, distracted. You see, they distracted by, and that's why they throw the distractions out there. People vibrate low. They can't put they conscious. They're not conscious. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is to be asleep. You're not conscious about what's going on. You're completely oblivious to it. So anyway, let me play some more of this video, man. Some other stuff I wanted to tell y'all, but let's play some more of this video real quick.
Then you're fooling yourself.
Yeah, but what we do know with this is we're told that there are plenty of notes from people, including Vice President Pence, that there are some recordings of Donald Trump acknowledging that actually what he said in public was nonsense. That some of these states, whether he...
Notice how he said Pence got the recordings and stuff. See, that's what I said. They got two Trumps. So all they got to do is have this Trump sit down, just like they did Bill Clinton. Remember, I'm going to have to show the video.
In covertly recorded off-air transmissions from the Bush-Clinton presidential election campaign in the 1990s, we can see that Bill Clinton was nothing more than a puppet to the puppet masters which placed him in the White House. Bill Clinton's demeanor seems to be similar to a person who is under a hypnotic trance.
I love you. Can we do any more? We'll do some more. We'll do some more. I'll do some more for you. Talk. We don't all talk all today.
But remember, they set Bill Clinton down. He's just hypnotized. Just like they had Mitch McConnell. He's sitting up there. You see what I'm saying? So they bring in their cloned version of Trump. And they say, hey, do this, say this, that, boom, boom. And that's what they gonna do. Like this, guys, this level of warfare that we in, man, is next level. This world war. That's why I say we behind enemy lines, man. The good guys ain't been running the show. That's why y'all got hit with the stuff y'all been hit with. You see? So let me play the rest of this.
He was out saying look, Detroit, it's corrupt. It's all corrupt. The results are corrupt. And that when in reality, he knew it wasn't. That's illegal.
But you know what? That's what someone's claiming, but that's not the fact, and that's not what Donald Trump really has ever said. He's been very, very clear. I mean, the issues were, for example, in Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court of the state of Pennsylvania stepped in and changed some of the election laws. Under our Constitution, it's only the state legislators that can do that. 2,000 Mules, the film that came out, what they did, they spent over $4 million tracking the phones. And the reason it's only 2,000 mules is that based on the visits to the drop boxes in Georgia, they had to have gone over 10 times. And they've got all the film for that. So the thing is that the election integrity is so different and so problematic in every single state. But that doesn't mean that the machines didn't do something, that there were some other kind of finagling, but the long and short, go ahead.
Well, it doesn't, but that's where conspiracy comes in, is it? To say, well, it doesn't mean that something didn't happen. Well, there's no evidence that it happened. I mean, there's how many court cases did the Trump campaign try to bring? Nothing's gone in his favor.
Okay.
See, you see what he's talking, and he's spewing out stuff that came out of the media, which I showed y'all who they are. They the bad guys in disguise. Okay, he's like, nothing went in his favor. Yeah, because that's what they put out there. Let's go back and look.
Wait a minute. Everyone, the media goes, oh, there were 60 court cases that were rejected. No, there were 3. He won 2. He lost 1. 57 were never heard because they had no standing. And standing means that the person bringing the case has to claim some kind of impact or injury. So it's really, the media did that, and they're great at doing that, but it was a fallacy in there. And the thing is that, I sit on a task force at the Department of Defense. And the thing is, they've got the goods. They've got the goods. And Trump knew that if he presented any of the goods early on, we'd have a civil war. That he really felt that the people needed to see how bad it could get.
And that's another thing, guys. It had to be a strategic approach. People always say, well, why is he letting this and that go? It's 5D chess. Okay, if it's 5D chess, then you playing 5th dimensional. Okay, you on another dimension with this stuff. So you have to be able to do that. And to do 5th dimension, what you got to do? You got to have time travel. You see, you got to know the future. You got to have some kind of insight into how to play this level of chess. You can't play regular. Playing 3D chess is like playing checkers with them. No, you go 5D, you're on another level to where they can't really touch what you're doing. That's why they don't know, and you hit them from angles where they ain't expected. That's where that crystal ball thing comes into play. And I might have to get that and play that in here so y'all can understand how that impacts this. But I also said that to say this. When we start talking about how the military had been taken over, which I showed y'all that, and I told y'all that from back when Eisenhower or Roosevelt was involved, and they did, and they got involved with the other treaty that was signed over with the extraterrestrials, kind of like Germany and stuff, to whereas we would give them certain things and, in exchange for this and that technology, and they double crossed us. Okay, and that's what they was worried about happening. Remember, Al Billick was like, man, if we allow them to set up a military complex on our own, even though it's on our own turf, what happens if they get control over it and we become vassals of slaves to them? What did Phil Snyder say that the plan ended up being a little later, not too long after that? He said the plan was depop and enslavement. So what do you think the program is they running right now? Why do you think the videos I keep pulling out and showing y'all, they saying 2025 and 2029, 2025 and 2029. Depop by 2029, enslavement pieces in place by 2025. What's happening, guys? What have you been seeing happen the last couple of years? Why are they still doing stuff like this? Matter of fact, I'm about to show y'all why are they still doing stuff like this. So look at that, man. Why in the heck would this even be still going on? Look at this. With everything we know, everything that's come out, look at the date. Look at the date. Let me put this on the whole screen, man, so y'all can see. Do that make sense? Let's read it. Rutgers University, the first academic institution in the United States to mandate the blah, blah, blah for its students, is standing by its mandate to the point that students will be disenrolled from the impending semester if they still do not submit to the controversial blah, blah, blah. The university blah, blah, blah information page currently states that with limited exceptions, all students must be fully blah, blah, blah and upload a record of these blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah student immunizations portal, unless they are enrolled in fully online degree granting programs, typically defined as having no access to on-campus facilities or participating in fully online off-campus continuing education programs. I don't need to read much more as it relates to that. Let me see. Rand Paul says something. Requiring 3 blah, blah, blah for college freshmen is not just bad science, but malpractice. Risk of myocarditis and 28 times, and yes, and blah, blah, blah. The risk of, yeah, y'all see it. I'm not going to read the whole thing because y'all know how I go. So, yeah, why would that still be going on, man? With everything that we know, everything that's coming out, even man, I can show you video after video. The stuff is literally on the floor now. They discussing this stuff to the point where I showed you Margie Taylor Greene brought all the information, all the results, but they still trying to force it. We're not even dealing with this stuff. That's because it has nothing to do with that. They trying to get this particular intelligent, you know what, in you guys' body. They want that spike thing. Guys, that's why I said it goes back to the it goes back to the okay, guys. So yeah, like I was saying, so you gotta understand that the stuff that they doing, they're gonna keep on doing as long as they got control. They got control, and that's why I showed y'all the whole video. My last video, make sure y'all go watch that, man. I'm gonna put the link to that in the description box. Red Skies. This is all about war. It's all about spiritual, psychological, mental, physical war. We're looking at all these different levels of it. Okay, and like you have to understand the different measures that the enemy is taking. Okay, they didn't already, guys. We already got so many casualties of war. Casualties of war. Like people not even looking at it like that. I know, because you're looking at it like this stuff was all just natural disasters, okay, which I'm showing you. You see they got the high frequency stuff out there. You see what I'm saying? The high frequency, the high energy. Basically, I remember we was looking for weapons of mass destruction. Well, where they at? I think I've seen one, right? But you got to look at it. It's not just the weapons of mass destruction, guys. It's the weapons of slow destruction of our health and stuff like that. People that die. We talk about so much people that die from taking a walk that die right away. But people have been dying slowly for decades based off of the stuff that's been implemented. And that's why I put the videos. You see the stuff about the water and stuff, and then they come in. What they do, they act transparent. Like, oh yeah, we found this, that, and the other. So when people discover they got things, oh, we found out 30, 40 years later that this stuff was in the water and was causing this and this to happen to people. I just had a guy I went to high school with, man. He was a cool dude. We didn't really talk too much. We associated a little bit, like every now and again, because he hung with a group. He hung with a group of people that I was cool with. So I would see him in passing, and I'll rap with him. You got those friends that you kind of cool with just because they cool with some people you cool with, right? But just the 21st, yeah, which was Monday, he passed away. Passed away, man. He young. He's still young, right? Passed away. Cancer, prostate cancer. And it ate through him like that. He kind of put it off the getting treatment and stuff, but I don't know necessarily if that would have did anything anyway, because y'all know how I feel about that. They do give you the chemo and stuff like that. But very well may have took that. He was one of those type of guys that, was a blue collar guy, follow the rules, do everything they tell you to do. But you already know, if you got that stuff in your system, what are they showing? Explosions and you know what? You know what I mean? So either way, I don't know for sure. I haven't, people don't want to talk about that stuff now. It was a big thing to talk about people when they didn't take it. But now when people do and people are passing from this stuff, nobody's looking or talking about that. Coincidence. But like I was saying, guys, the different measures have been put in place, and they're being used against us because the enemy is in control. The enemy is in control of the information. The enemy is in control of the medical industry. They control of the military. They're in control of the economy. They're in control of the country. They're in control of everything that we have at our disposal. And that's why you got a lot of the different problems. Yeah, so they got control, guys, of everything as it pertains to our lives. And that's why people do die. People write all this stuff off as coincidence, or he had inherited a generic, and not putting the pieces together. And that's why we have some of the problems we have. So let me finish playing this video. Let me finish playing it.
And that's the sense that we're getting from Trump's lawyer about what his defense is going to be. So this is all going to be based on free speech, the First Amendment in the US Constitution, that he had a right to say what he believed. And he believed that the election results were not as was put out. But the point is, if you live in a democracy and you believe in a democracy, then that means that even if you don't like the outcome of an election, you respect that, because it's a democratic vote.
Well, a democratic vote, and so therefore he should be silent about it.
No, he has a right to speak, but the issue, of course, is if he then acts to subvert that election result.
Oh, so that because you think he's being criticized because in Georgia he said, "Can you find me 12,000 votes?" Or, the thing is, he didn't try to subvert anything. What he's really done is he set up the deep state to come out, and that's why we're seeing all these things. I mean, it was revealed with whistleblowers and Hunter Biden's ex-best friend that in 2015, the head of Burisma gave Joe and Hunter Biden $10 million bribe. In 2018, Joe is on TV publicly saying that he threatened that unless they got the prosecutor fired, that he wasn't going to let them have their $1 billion in support. In 2019, Trump calls
Look at
Someone's
him,
need
man.
to find out about
This is
what
just
went on to
comical.
get the prosecutor fired, and he gets impeached. I mean, we've lived with it for a long time.
We're almost out of time. I just want to pick you up on one thing. You said earlier on, Donald Trump has been very clear on this. Is he a man that you believe? I mean, look, he's about as believable as a chocolate teapot, isn't he?
Look, I know that, thank God you got the negativity in at the end and not the beginning. I can always count on you for that. Always.
But it's a legitimate point to say that Donald Trump is a man who always speaks the truth. That can't be the case. I mean, it's hardly the case of any leader, to be fair, but I mean, definitely not Donald Trump.
Well, I don't know if I said everything or always, because I do call him the embellisher in chief, because he's a marketer. But in terms of telling us things, optics, you better believe that he's very much a straight shooter in terms of actions that he's going to take or what he thinks needs to be done. They made fun of him because they assumed he broke protocol and walked in front of the Queen. No, if you go back and look at it, you will see he looked at her. She gave a wave with her hand. He proceeded. She took a couple of steps, he stopped, and he waited for her to join. That was an optic to tell us that he then was going to bankrupt the U.S. corporation because it was the Vatican, the Crown, and the U.S. that was part since 1871. And we were giving you our tax dollars. We were paying back. Forget.
What have we heard about the Vatican, guys? What have we showed you is going on at the Vatican? What did we show you is who is in the Vatican or what is in the Vatican?
This Tea Party and without taxation, without representation, we owed you a lot of money because you helped us in the Civil War. And so that is what Trump has now, he told the Queen, I'm ending this. We're dissolving this corporation. We're going to go back to being a republic and we'll all be separate.
Sovereignty.
The Pope wasn't happy. You should find the picture of him visiting the Pope. It took 650.
Why wouldn't the Pope be happy? See, this stuff that's going on, this is why they had to go ahead and I can't, guys, it's the stuff I want to say that I can't say, man. But put it like this. If you being given your freedom, just like the slaves back in the day, how can you keep your slaves? How can you become property of somebody if you're being given your freedom and you can walk away? Think about that. Now it ties you into this. People that take the walk, what do they say? What do they say? You probably haven't been watching my videos. You took the walk and you got plugged in. Basically, they got these systems being integrated inside of you. You can be patented. You can be owned. If you're owned, they have the right to do what they want. If you are patented, you can be controlled. You can be owned, you can be controlled. So that's why the enslavement piece is it starting to make sense for you guys? That's why the enslavement piece is in there. That's why they had to implement it now. Do you see? So if nothing I'm saying or what I've been telling y'all has any relevance, then why do all of these pieces line up? You have to ask yourself that. When I told you about the founding of the Republic, I told you about that a long time ago, man. A long time ago. I haven't looked into it, man. I went and looked up my birth certificate and Social Security. I was worth like maybe a couple $1 billion. Some of y'all are too. Some of y'all are too. But the main piece is that all that court stuff, man, all large capital letters in your name when your bills come. I wish I could show y'all right now. I ain't gonna matter of fact. No, I ain't gonna show y'all because that's my personal stuff. But your name comes in large capital letters and stuff. When you go to court, you're basically playing a game, just like basketball courts, tennis courts. It all ties into it. What people were considered once they signed up their birth certificate, they were considered lost at sea. Lost at sea, because we're not. It's not just. It's really, you are lost, but we're a soul and a spirit first and foremost. These vessels are just vessels, okay, and they can be owned. It's deep, right? But that is why they incorporated some of the stuff they had to incorporate now, because people are basically getting their freedom, sovereignty is being regained, and that's why the beings that I show you on the news that are changing, all kind of crap happening, they had control. That's why it goes ties back into the Vatican and stuff. So of course they're going to tell you go take the walk. Why? Because they're putting the control mechanism back inside of you. They're regaining ownership over you. They're putting you back into enslavement. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, guys, this stuff is deep, and I don't expect a lot of y'all to figure this out. It's gonna go right over some of your heads. Some of y'all gonna be like, "Oh shit, Net, I ain't even know that." But the point is for y'all to understand where Trump comes into all of this, and why there's, like I said, there's two. One of them is very much involved with the BS. Oh yeah, but there's one that's being used by the good side to actually bring about these changes and things. So we're in a battle, in a war. That's why I said you got the blue and the red, you got the Democrats, the Republicans, you got the sides fighting, feuding. There's never been a fight between the two like this. One is like trying to destroy, put one man off. Oh, he's got 75,000 charges. We gotta throw him in jail. He's the worst president ever. He's ate ice cream with his left hand, and he doesn't use a handkerchief when he's eating, and he's got that's an indictment. When have you ever heard of somebody getting so many indictments? Shoot, they indicted him to death. Basically, you might as well give him the death penalty now because he got enough indictments to carry it out. That's why the Space Force had to be implemented too. That's why she said the Space Force. You don't think Space Force know about the election integrity? Yeah, they know what's about the election integrity. Hell yeah, they know. Yeah, they're involved with this, man. You had to, if you got a side if you got the military that's been corrupted and been infiltrated, then you cannot do anything with that part of the military. You cannot do that. Only way you do is have a real legitimate military inside of the military that's really going to uphold the American people's rights and laws and go after the bad guys. You see what I'm saying? I hope this stuff is making sense, man. But that's why you think he all of a sudden made up the Space Force. And it's some other stuff I have to show y'all with that, man. But it's deep. I'm not going to get into all that right now because I want to play this video, man, and let that be that, because this is going a little further there.
Planes to remove our gold from the Vatican Bank.
I'm not very happy about it, Jan, to be perfectly honest. We could do with your money at the minute. You could flow it, I say. Jan Halberhayes, really good to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
You too.
Okay, so guys, I talked about a lot in here, and I hope y'all get it, man. I hope y'all can figure it out, man. There's a lot that goes into it. I'm gonna do a follow-up on this later on, but I just wanted to lay out the information so y'all can take it and soak it up, absorb it, get it for what it's worth. And like I said, man, you might still be like, man, Ned, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, guys, dissect everything that I've been giving to you. Understand, and once you understand how this thing works, I just showed you. And if you don't understand why I'm to the conclusion I come to, you have to go back and watch all my videos from the time traveling, from the two Trumps, me proving that, showing that to you, to the different extraterrestrial beings, to the taking over, the infiltration of our country, okay, to the military being pretty much taken over, to the plans that these beings that took over had, to them being in the media, running the media, to them running the politics, to them telling y'all to go take the walk, to them using different type of alien life forms in the spraying that they doing up there, that's getting into you guys, that's actually killing you because it's part of the whole Depop program. okay, and the candida and stuff. All right, so the mind control, all of that stuff is all tied in. Like, put all that together, man. And if you don't understand that, like I said, it's a lot to unpack. This video had a lot of value because it talked about a lot of that. But you, in order to really understand how this stuff works, you're gonna have to go back and watch a lot of my videos. That's all I'm gonna say. And I might link a couple of them and try to put them up on the screen so y'all can see which ones is relevant. Aside from that, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the detox shop, man. That's very important because we are at war, and the things that have been implemented are affecting you. This shop is specifically designed to give you those things that you need to hopefully get you back on the right track. Basically, to get you back on the right track and get some of this stuff out of your system, some of the stuff that they've done, some of the stuff that can be reversed, some of the stuff that you can do to start getting your mind, your mental right, get your mental clarity, and get your IQ back where it's supposed to be, your spiritual discernment, your intuition, your spiritual power, all of that stuff. You got to start focusing on that, making that a priority, okay? And making sure that you're able to think with a conscious mind and understand exactly what's going on. All right. People wonder, why, how can I put all this stuff together? Okay. Yeah, well, because maybe my pineal gland ain't calcified. Maybe I got a good understanding of how this whole thing works. So, guys, like I said, make sure that y'all go check out the detox shop, man. Detoxification by purification, man. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, share the videos, share the information, because this is about the closest you're gonna get to putting a good, good portion of this information together and really, really understanding how this stuff is working. All right. Y'all be safe. I'll catch you on the next video. Net out.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.